You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Of the net.
It's the Europa League with Chris on Leicester Till I Die TV. Please press those buttons on YouTube for more Leicester City content.
Right, Chris.
Do you want me to answer that? Do you really want me to answer that? Hello, fellow Fox fans. And I won't say good evening. I'll just say hello. This is Leicester Till I Die. You are watching us on Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group, on Twitter at Leicester TID, and YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube, please get over there, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. It's Leicester Till I Die TV. And if you are listening to us, you can catch us later on podcasts on Google, Amazon, Apple, Anchor, Spotify, and Podcast Addict, just to name a few. How are we feeling? You know what? I feel one of these.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
No, you would not. I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm trying to keep it calm, but I don't know if I can after that performance. I mean, we played 2 games in the Europa League. We've earned 1 point. We're 4th in the group. We're behind Legia Warsaw, who are first, and Spartak Moscow, who, in a way, maybe did us a favour in beating Lazio tonight. The team rating was 4. The manager rating was 4. And, we won the FA Cup in May. We've gone from FA Cup winners to Premier League mediocrity to Europa League embarrassment in 2 months. Now, okay, I know the players don't do it on purpose. They don't go out to have a bad game. But what has happened? Because it's not the results necessarily that I'm going on about, but it's the performance. Even when we've won, do you remember when we won? Yeah, that was like Norwich just, other teams are beating them 4-5. We just got away with it thanks to VAR. And Wolves, who, if they'd had the shooting boots on, would have probably taken the 3 points in that game. But even then, we were awful. We played awful. So I just don't know where it's come from. And it's not just the defence. People are saying, yeah, but look at the defence. We played... Oh, we had more injury problems in the back four. We had no back four at 1 week last season. So we can't just blame the back four. What has happened to us? Why have we gone from exciting football? I mean, I had to ask, is it the manager? And I'm not saying here for a second, believe you me, that he should go. Of course, I'm not saying that. But is it the manager? Bad day at the office? We didn't turn up. We were COVID problems. The ref was awful. VAR went against. I mean, Phil, I'll leave a gap and you can fill it in with your excuse. There you go. What did you fill it in with? Stick it in the comments. If you want to come in and have a little rant, I'm going to put the link in a minute into the comment box. But I know that somebody else actually wants to have a rant as well. But that
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
You may not like me when I'm not angry. Let's be honest with you. Let's just have a look at some comments. Ant from Ant's Leicester fan channel. How do, mate? He has got a great channel there, along with Beyond the 90. Leicester channels, get over there, give him some support. People always talk perspective here in some of here. Sorry, I'll put my teeth in and try that again. People always talk perspective. Here is some for you. We have the 7th most expensive squad in the league and the 3rd highest paid manager. Yeah. Oh, Charlie, good evening. How are you? Are you sharing our pain tonight, mate? You lost yesterday, Man City. Oh, honestly. Scott, good evening. How the devil are you, sir? Missed the game. So interested to find out what's happened. Don't be, mate. Don't be at all. As Ant says here, lucky you. I tell you what, you could have watched a repeat of Antiques Roadshow and it would have been more exciting. In fact, I tell you what, who's on Antiques Roadshow? I think the Leicester bloody squad's on Antique Roadshow. Facebook user, we always finish matches with the team we should have started with. And again, defensive injury doesn't stop attackers making runs and movement. I say, I don't think you can blame the defense. But I tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put in, if you're on YouTube, you'll see this. If you're on Facebook or anything like that, you might need to nip over to YouTube. But there's the link going in now. If you want to come on and have a quick rant, join us. Charlie, oh, it's still mate. I can't. I wish one of you two would change the name of the bloody channel. I'll tell you what, especially when I'm in one of these moods, trying to cheer you up. I tell you what, if that was vodka or gin and not water, it wouldn't bloody cheer me up. Talking about cheering me up, I've had my rant. It's only fair we let somebody else have his rant. Josh, you said that it was more exciting me going to the toilet than that match. How the devil are you, sir?
I wish I could say I was well, but after watching that, mate, I don't know. I want to say so much, but I don't think. I think you'd have to use your bleep machine over a lot of it. To be honest,
if you can give it about 17 minutes, we'll go past the watershed. Hang on. Actually, yeah. for this game, I'll just put this up so we do at least cover ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I suppose that's going to cover me for the duration. I think, mate. I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say.
Well, this is going to be a short show, but no, I mean, I tell you, I mean, I asked the question: what has happened? 2 months ago, we finished 5th. We only just missed out by a point on the Champions League. God help us if we'd gone into the Champions League, because we'd have got stuffed every week.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at Napoli, and I haven't seen their game. I thought they were playing later, but they played at the same time as us. And, they lost 3-2 to Spartak Moscow. That was a shock as well. So you've got the team that was 3rd in the draw, actually in 2nd place, and the team that was supposed to be the weakest are on top. What has happened to Leicester?
That's the thing, and I've seen a few comments from people on social media saying, "Oh, Spartak Moscow have done us a favour," but what makes people think we're going to even, put up a good performance against them and beat them at the minute? I don't know. I don't know what's gone wrong, mate. I mean, let's put it this way, right? If we win the group, and I'm just going to say to anybody that's trying to post on Facebook, there is a problem at the moment. If you're swearing, it won't allow you post. So try to sort of have a moan without swearing, because that will automatically not allow the post. But also, it's not letting me see new posts to be able to authorize them. So do bear with me on that one, please, guys. They're coming up now. So if we finish top, and that's a big if, a massive if we finish top, we go into the next 16, the round of 16. If we finish 2nd, we go into the round of 32, and we have to play somebody that drops down from the Champions League. Yeah. If we finish 3rd, I believe we drop down into the Conference League, and we might end up playing Spurs. And if we finish 4th, which is where we are at the moment, we're going to hang our heads in shame. We are 2nd favourites to win the competition. Now, we've played 7 games in the Premier League. we've played an 8th game in the Carabao Cup. We've played a 9th and 10th game in the Europa League. And apart from 30 minutes here, 40 minutes there, I haven't seen us getting any better.
Exactly, mate. You hit the nail on the head there, mate. It's just, we're doing, I wouldn't say playing well. We're doing all right in patches here and there in games, but there's just, I don't know where, I don't, like you say, I don't know where it's going wrong. You know, we've strengthened the team from last season, but we just look worse. I genuinely don't know. At the minute, we've only got one style of play, and that's, you know, this possession-based football, which gets us, let's be honest, nowhere. Creativity's gone. We piss arse around at the back with it, passing it between centre backs, and teams just allow us to do it because they know we're not going to get anywhere with it. And then, you know, we finally get some movement after about 5 or 10 minutes pissing about, knocking the ball sideways, and then, you know, before you know it, we're sort of approaching the opposition's, you know, final third, and we run out of ideas. We don't know what to do with it, and then before you know it, it's being passed back again, out to the wings, back again. It's just, it's so boring. It's so boring to watch, mate. And I wouldn't mind, you know, I think as fans, any football fan will say, you know, if you're losing games but you're playing well and you're giving it a good go, and, you know, you're narrowly losing games and you don't mind, but at the minute, you just know what you sort of know what you're going to get from us every week, every single week. You think we're going to go a goal down and we'll spark into life the last 20 minutes, and then you're sort of thinking, well, you know, we had chances towards the end of the game and we didn't take them, but it's the same old, and we've got no plan B whatsoever. We've got nothing. It's not even like, and I said this last season, it's not even like we've got a big target man striker we can bring on and just lump it into him in the box for the last 5 or 10 minutes, you know, hoping that somebody gets a flick on, or, you know, he's scrambling in the air.
The question I want to ask you there is, what's plan A?
No, that's the thing, mate. Exactly. Plan A at the minute is mess around with it, knock it about, hope that, you know, a gap opens up here and there. But as the comment said earlier, nobody's making movement. There's nobody sort of running into space and like dragging players around. It's just, at the minute, when, you know, Soyuncu and Vestergaard have got the ball at the back, it's just stagnant. There's no movement at all. Teams at the minute, honestly, we must be probably the easiest team to play against at the minute, and teams have figured us out, mate. I think
you're right. I think you are right. And I mean, as Ant says there, possession is fine, but not possession for the sake of possession.
Definitely.
Hopefully, Neel might be joining us from Beyond the 90 LFC. Like I say, great Leicester channel. Get over there. He does some great stuff. I'm just looking for a comment here. Rudy, good evening, Rudy. How the devil are you, sir? It was nice to finally put a face to the name last night when we were on the chat with just dropping names here. Luckman and Kieran Dewsbury Hall. We had a chat, me and Rudy, with them, you know. What can I say? You know, and of course, Matt Elliott and Steve Walsh were there as well. Yeah, mixing it with the fans. Maybe they should have stayed chatting. We might have done better. But Rudy says there, West Ham have started with their best 11, and hey presto, they're winning. But, I mean, let's have a look. I mean, if we have a look at that squad that we've got, or the starting, let's look at the starting lineup, which I do have somewhere. I was actually quite pleased with that starting lineup, with one exception, which you can probably guess. I didn't think it was particularly a bad starting lineup. Did you?
No, it's not a bad starting 11, mate, to be honest with you. You'd think on paper it should be enough to get the job done tonight, really. But again, we're sat here after a poor performance, and we just the thing is, the players that we've got, like you say, in that starting 11, should be beating teams like this, and it's no disrespect to them at all. And it sounds like I'm being disrespectful towards them, but I'm not at all. But you've got players in there, you know, Schmeichel, Tielemans, It sounds ridiculous because I thought it was absolutely atrocious tonight. But Vestergaard, you know, is an experienced Danish international, big bloke. We're just getting nowhere. And at the minute, and just onto that comment about the West Ham's best starting 11. What is our best starting 11 at the minute? We don't know.
Yes.
It's you know, and it's not an excuse, because surely by now, you know, fair enough. What is it? 7 games into the Premier League season now, a second, you know, Europa League game, and everybody's saying, oh, you know, some people, oh, it's only 7 games. But the thing is, before you know it, there's going to be 15 games gone, and then you're getting, you know, edging towards the middle of the season. And I still think, mate, we could be sat in it. I'm worried. I'm honestly, mate. The way we're playing at the minute. I'm genuinely worried where this season could go. At the start of the season, I thought we'd finish about 8th or 9th. It seemed a long way off at the minute, even that.
I mean, and we're going to bring Neel in a minute. I can see you in the green room there. I say green room. That sounds like the BBC, doesn't it? He's in the back office, or whatever you want to call it. Outhouse. He's in the outhouse at the moment. We'll bring him in a second. But you know what? I made a post at half time, and it basically was, Perez, what is the point? He made, and I'm sorry, I hate to be, my son turned around and said, you know, you're sounding like, you know, the anti-Chilwell brigade and what have you. And then 2 minutes later, he's there like, oh, the fucking hell, Perez, how did you miss that? You know, and
yeah,
he was, you know, he couldn't. I mean, he should have had a couple of goals. One, okay, was ruled off, but one, I mean, to be honest with you, my mother could have kicked a straighter ball and scored that. She's been dead 2 years. You know, I mean, what is the point of Perez? Please tell me.
I can't. Again, mate, I've backed Perez to the hill for so long, but even now, it's got to the point where I just thought it's like starting with 10 men every week. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, it's not. I'm not digging him out for tonight, because everybody played shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And you know, that one chance that he missed that went, you know, he's kicked it so far wide, and you're thinking, God, you know, for the money we paid for him, and as a professional footballer, you got to at least hit the target. Having said that, you know, Daka missed sort of a similar chance where he's sort of plucked the ball out of the air and miskicked it. So it weren't just Perez, but he's been with us long enough now, and he's not showing us anything. Is it? And again tonight, it just summed his time up with us, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to ask Neel that very same question. So get ready, Neel. I'm sure you're going to come on and defend Perez. Maybe not. I don't know. But we'll just have a look at some comments first. David, good evening, David. How the devil are you, sir? Even Yuri doesn't seem to know who to pass forward to unless Vardy makes a run. He stops on the ball, looks around, and then passes back and points to where the person should pass to next time. How pathetic. I mean, we couldn't pass. I mean, to be honest with you, that team couldn't pass win tonight, let alone a ball, you know, because when they did, it did not go to a Leicester player. Ant says plan A is to wait and get hit on the counter and look surprised that we conceded. Can't score goals, constantly passing sideways and backwards. Best defence is going forward, isn't it? Well, I mean, I heard that when Rodgers bought Perez, that one of the things he liked was he was like the first line of defence. Obviously, it was a defence that got blown over in some wind somewhere. No one's moving. Exactly. My son said that watching the game. You know, when Harvey Barnes and Maddison came on, and I'm going to give credit to Maddison later because I thought he was good when he came on. But there's nobody there for them to pass to. You know, it's like, good evening, Rich. Thanks very much, mate. Great channel. Games supporting him. Man United fan, but you did us a favour last night and you beat Villarreal in the 92nd minute. Yes. God, I hate that team now. Let it go. Facebook user again. We are where we are because of the injuries. No, we're not where we are because of we had worse injuries last season.
right? We were playing Christian Fuchs, who hadn't played for us for 3 years. Whereas Morgan, who was virtually semi-retired, we didn't have, a back four. We cannot blame the injuries. We've got 2 players that are injured and Evans on and off. So blaming the injuries, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. And I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong. I'm just saying I don't agree with it. We don't, we would had worse injuries than this last season, and we were playing better, and we were 5th, I think, at this time last season. Rob says there, good evening, Rob. How the devil are you? Disgrace. Players are treading water. What are they doing in the £100 million training stadium on the solarium all day? Ants. Again, regardless if we rotate or not, there is not enough quality. We should have enough quality, though, because we had a good squad and we've added, supposedly, league winners to it. Can Vestergaard even run? We've bought a player who let 9 in against us. I know we weren't thinking of spending that money, but what could we have got Tarkowski for? I think he would have been better. Has Top got Nigel Pearson's number? No, not Big Sam. No, I'll have Pearson back. I don't know. It's just going mad here. He has good hair. When we had a good periods under Brendan, we could tell the starting 11 days before the game. Oh, and he does it at the side. He sits there and claps. And I don't know whether to sort of, say, come on, Leicester, or throw him a fish. Rene, good evening. How the devil are you? Welcome along. Is Fofana coming back soon? I bloody hope so. And walking football. I think that gets more exciting. Rodgers needs to learn from his fuck-ups, so the door is there. He's not learning, though. We got stuffed by West Ham, who stuffed us twice last year. He's been very, very patient and waited. Good evening, Neil. How are you?
How are you doing, Chris? It's been a while. Been talking to try and get this sorted, but yeah, finally here. And I mean, what a match to make my debut. I mean, I might as well leave now. It was just woeful, wasn't it? Just all over the park.
I was really worried that you were going to come on then and defend and say, well, it was just another one of those days. But we've had so many of just those days this season, haven't we?
It's just not. The thing is, if you play badly and lose, look, we've supported the team over the years, and we've seen just dead terrible football. And I was talking with a couple of guys on our channel, just a couple of minutes off camera. We were talking about. Remember watching it on Channel 5, where you were like, you'd miss the game, you'd go and watch it, and then you'd wait all evening, and then you'd get a 2-minute clip of Leicester versus Blackburn. It'll be a 2-1 draw or 2-2 draw, and you're like, but again, for some reason, this feels just so. Thanks, guys, appreciate it. This feels so much worse. Because we just got the levels we know what this team is capable of, and we've added to that, and we've not lost anybody. Logically, on paper, we should be doing better, but it's just not happening. And it's not even like, oh yeah, we're going to, because I stupidly said that we could potentially get 4th because I thought Liverpool would slip up. No way in hell we're going to do that now. So you know what? They have a way of frustrating you, but I think I'll calm down in a bit. But it's just not good enough. And as you were saying, Chris, it's the same thing over and over again. And the worst thing is, we could have written a load of these points before the match even started based on the previous 3. And that's the annoying thing, because other teams, bearing on, they're 15th in the Polish league. I know they're winners, but 15th in the Polish league, and we've never played them before. If we played Burnley and Brighton, I can get it because we've played them a couple of times. We've never played these guys before. And they're like, these guys, easy, we'll shut them out. There's a lot more to come, imagine.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be a long season. Josh, I mean, Neil made the point there, and I should just say thanks for coming on, Neil. Your channel, Beyond the 90, big Leicester channel. Get over there and give the guy some support and subs and follow him as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Josh, I mean, are we expecting too much? I mean, we have come to, be 4th and 5th at this time in the season, looking over our shoulders to see who might be catching us up. Now we're the one that's having to do the catch up. And I'm going to put this bluntly: has Brendan taken us as far as he can?
I'm a long way off calling for Brendan's.
And I'm not. Let me just say, I'm not. I'm playing devil's advocate.
I know you're not. No, I think we could it's, you know, it goes without saying we could definitely step up a gear this season. I don't know if we've got out of first gear, for being honest with you. I don't know, and you know, Neel raises the perfect point, and before every single game so far this season, the bullet points are there, and you know what we're going to be discussing: slow football, possession-based football that gets us absolutely nowhere. I don't like criticising Brendan because he's given us some amazing memories, you know, first FA Cup and things like that, but he's so slow in making substitutions and changing the game. And like for me, mate, I thought he should have made changes at half time today, especially after the first half, and then waiting, you know, for 60, 65 minutes. And by then, the game's sort of settling down and it's coming towards a conclusion where they were perfectly set up defensively. It didn't really look like much were going to get past them. And it's just too late. And we sort of leave ourselves, and it's all good making, like you say, making changes last 60, 65, 70th minute. But then you're thinking, well, it leaves us 20 minutes. 20 minutes goes by really fast when you're losing games. It goes slowly when you're winning, but when you're losing, it goes by so quick. And before you know it, the 90 minutes up, and you've lost another game. And at the minute, it's just like there's no even, he's not even reacting, or he's not reactive or proactive. It's just a case of, you know, you can pinpoint when he's, that's it, mate. And you just know what you can call when he's going to make his subs. 65th minute, win or lose, and it's the same thing every single week. And it sounds, you know, maybe we do sound like, you know, have we had it too good for the last couple of seasons? And I don't think we're expecting too much, because, as Neel said, we know we're better than this, and we know the players are better than this. But at the minute, whether it's Brendan's tactics that the lads, you know, the players just thought, I don't really fancy this anymore, because you could tell that at the minute something ain't right, and they're not buying into what they're being told.
Yeah,
it's so obvious to see, and it's scary, mate. It's scary times.
I'm going to quote these for you, Neel, before we bring Brad in as well, because he doesn't like stats. But and they don't tell the full story, in fairness. But on this one, I think it kind of does, because we're away from home. And yes, okay, like you say, it's Legia Warsaw, who apparently should have almost qualified for the Champions League. I think they knocked out Sparta Prague, they were saying, to qualify for the Champions League. But we're away. We had just short of 65% possession. But what the bloody hell did we do with it? And again, same question to you, Neel. And I say, don't get on my back, guys, if you're watching. I am playing devil's advocate here. But do you think Brendan's gone too far?
He's too stubborn. That's the main problem. And again, it's when he's in this situation, he needs to make proactive changes and push the team forward. And again, no substitutions at half time. We're just going, right, well, why has that been done? And it's just reading that as well. It's
I can't believe that Brendan said that.
I can't believe we said that.
I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I'm old enough probably to be everybody's dad here. I can remember growing up when the big team was Liverpool during the 70s and 80s. They won everything. And Bob Paisley and, oh God, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. The manager before Bob Paisley of Liverpool. Football is
You're not going to get anything from me, mate. Sorry. It's way past my time.
My mind has gone. Please, someone in the chat tell me. But Bill Shankly. Bill Shankly. That's it. And if they lost a game, they would come out and they wouldn't have a dig at the players. And I don't expect Brendan to come out and go, you know, this player was bad or that player was bad, because that goes on in the dressing room. But they would come out and they would say, yep, they were the better team. And they would be honest, but they would give an honest appraisal. That, to me, reading that, talking about the atmosphere when we've just lost 1-0 and gone bottom of the group. Neel, sorry, I'll leave that with you, Neel. Sorry.
It's just all over the place, to be honest. There isn't really anything that I can say positive, because again, but we know what we're capable of, and everything should be going in the right direction on paper, but it's not. And I mean, I don't want to. I felt like a broken record. And the thing is, I want to make one point actually. the game that we scored 2 goals this season, because we've only scored 1 maximum pretty much, is against Burnley, where we actually played on the counter. We took the ball from the midfield, Tielemans, and then Ndidi got the ball, Tielemans got it, then over to another player, and then Vardy put it in the back of the net. We know it still works, but I guarantee Brendan Rodgers will never go back to 4-4-2 counter attack. And I'm not saying that's the only way we should play, whatever, but if it's not working, we've got a way that works, the team knows how it works, just do it. And because just get something, because at the moment we're getting nothing, playing terribly, not even, and a part of it is Brendan, but also the players need to take responsibility. Why is Jose Perez taking Daka off the ball and then putting the ball wide in like the 30th minute? It's just dumb. It really is just the players. There's some kind of fallout. We've had, I think, 4 like open guilty opportunities to put this game to bed. And let's be real, we could have been 3-0 down by the 95th minute when they missed them 2 chances. We could actually count ourselves lucky that it was only 1, which is really strange to say, but it's just woeful.
No, it's true though. It's true. We're going to welcome Brad in, and I'm just going to say to everybody, I'm going to just play a quick jingle to give you a chance to actually go and get some earmuffs, because I think he has promised us that he's got a song for us after this.
Oh yeah. You gonna play this jingle or?
Europa League with Chris on Leicester Till I Die TV. Please press those buttons on YouTube for more Leicester City content.
The floor is yours, Brad.
Do you want the PG version or did you mind the expletive? Because the expletive makes for a better football chant.
It's 7 minutes past 9. We're past the watershed.
Okay. For my best friend, Jose Perez, right? Please take this with a tongue-in-cheek, Leicester fans.
One second. You deserve this, sir.
Just take this with a pinch of salt. I'm trying to put a laugh on the evening, but I've come up with a new chant by Jose Perez. So here we go. It's a classic football chant, right? That I think we could use to describe him as a footballer at this moment in time. You're just a shit-hacking boy, shit-hacking boy. You're just a shit-hacking boy, shit-hacking boy. You're just a shit-hacking boy, shit-hacking boy. You're just a shit-hacking boy. Fuck me, someone worse than hacking boy. Fuck me. Oh, I've been singing that the whole game, mate. I've been singing the whole game.
He speaks very highly of you. He does. Not impressed with Perez's performance tonight, then, were you not, Brad?
Oh no, it's man of the match, mate. Man of the match. Best performance I've ever seen.
Neil, we do rent Brad out, by the way, if you ever want somebody to come and sing on your channel. Yeah. I'm trying to get him to sing on one of the jingles for me, but you know. Oh God. Let me just say,
I've got that as a clip now.
Yeah, that's going to be
for other players. It's guaranteed that's going to be used again sometime in the season.
And just so you're aware, the PG version is you're just a Spanish hacking boy. It's just changed it a little bit. Depends on if you've got kids, they can learn that version of it. It's all right.
Just bringing Simon Cowell just to
hacking
see.
Hacking boy, Musa, Kermigan, all is forgiven. Because that was dreadful, good. And I'm sick of seeing him in a Leicester shirt now.
Musa.
I'm sick to death of seeing him in a Leicester shirt. Oh, I'm gonna because I would have been looking at that Snickers tonight. You know what I mean, like that advert. I'm not me when I'm hungry, but no, he just deserved it tonight. That's the only chant Perez deserves. I've had enough of him.
Josh, don't swear, but this is how it looks at the moment. And somebody said, like, Spartak Moscow have done us a favour, and we discussed this before, Josh. You know, have they done us a favour? Because looking at that, you know, if we're bottom, that's it. We come home with our tails between our legs. We don't even drop into the conference. I know it's only 2 games, but come on.
But
when we get a lead, we can't hold on to it, can we?
I think looking at it the way it is at the minute, mate. I know, you know, in a couple of months' time, we could hit the ground running and pick up wins here and there and go on a decent run. But the way it is now, people say Spartak Moscow done us a favour, but can you see us beating them at the minute? I can't see. I genuinely can't. I can't see where the next win's coming from. Palace will beat us Sunday. Honestly, Palace will beat us on Sunday.
It is worrying. Apparently, it's just been posted that the RSPCA are visiting all the Leicester player homes and removing anybody that any dogs that any of the Leicester players own, because apparently we can't hold on to a lead either. Yeah. Hey, at least it was clean. There wasn't a swear word in there. I mean, we looked, Neel, when we played Lazio for 60 odd minutes, we looked really good. And then we can't even hold on to that lead, can we? You see what I did there? How I linked that in?
Yeah, we can't. The thing is, we can't hold on to a lead. We were never ahead. Ahead.
I mean, I'm on about Lazio.
Napoli.
Napoli, I mean, sorry.
That one was a little bit different, but at the same time, it's like I can't. I've got nothing. I think we've just ranted on our channel for a bit, so I was like, I'm a little bit out of steam at the moment.
You've run out of rants. You've run out of rants.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was like, which one have I covered on this channel? Which one have I covered on my channel? It was just things like Daniel Amati getting shoved off the ball too easily. Again, it was a good shot. It was a good placement. Kasper Schmeichel couldn't do anything. But that's kind of summed up our season. Defensive issues. Kasper Schmeichel again comes to our save in the 90th minute or something, 89th minute. But just problems all over the pitch. And it's flat, it's slow, it's static. They're just passing the ball from back, not even back to front, side to side to side to side. And it's something that we have criticised Klopp well before, and I'm not going to compare him, but when you have performances like this, where this was the problem with Klopp well, it was static football. We were going into games pretty much going to lose. It was very pragmatic and crap. The games itself didn't really contain anything of substance, and we end up losing the game. And at that time, I was like, look, I'm willing to give the owners at that time as much time as it takes, because we were just like, right off this season because of what happened with Vichai. That was the silver line to all that. Just write off whatever's happened. We'll get through this. Don't worry. Yeah. And this could kind of feel the same way. Again, I think, but the thing is, I'm not going to lie, Brendan Rodgers is not going anywhere. I don't think any other club will want him. And I don't think we've got the funds because we've got him stuck on a massive contract. They won't want to pay the money to get rid of him. So we're kind of stuck with him for the moment being. I'm not saying I want to get rid of him, but I'm saying, show us something that you're changing your tactics, you're changing your team, and you've got the players to change it up and create a better squad. And we've got a better squad, but we should be at least competing to 70% of what we did last year. 70%, and we're not even doing that.
No. Warren, good evening to you, or good morning as it is over there in Australia. Welcome to more than happy to give you another shout out, mate. How the devil are you? Die-hard Leicester supporter who just died with that result. I think a lot of us did. Josh, Brad, and you see, this is, I have more than one guest on, and I'm absolutely gone. I'm going to have to start sending out name badges or put the names up, but it takes up too much space. Scott says this, Josh. No, he doesn't. He says this, Brad. Chris, Josh, and Neel, for you, is the backroom staff that need to be shaken up rather than Brendan himself?
Well,
we have got a defensive, coach there. What's going on?
Well, there is backroom staff. He brought them in, so no. If they need to be gone, then the manager's going to have to go because he's the one that brought them in. He ain't going to tell his best mates, is he? Oh, sorry, by the way, I'm sacking you for that. He take the rap for it. No, so it's not the backroom staff that's the issue. It's almost like, when you say sometimes you're in autopilot. I feel like Leicester are playing in autopilot. They're playing on 3 seasons of autopilot. Slow, methodical build-up. Drag them out, wear them down. We'll hit them in the second half, play better. We'll take the games. And it ain't working because we're finding ourselves 1 or 2-0 down. by the time that comes around, and then Leicester come into gear. I mean, the fact is, I must have seen half a dozen comments that back up what Josh said, saying, I guarantee in the second half he will wait until about the 65th minute to make a sub, and it'll be one or two that come on. What happened? He made the subs at the exact minute that people were predicting. If we can predict it, if we can know what's happening before a ball's even kicked and tell it, someone practically wrote the script of the game for what it was worth in one of the comments I read. If we can sit here as fans now to do it, how does he think the opposition aren't going to know what's going on? Every manager's Leicester tactics is, don't worry about it, lads. They'll be slow, they'll be off boil, they'll pass it around the back. We'll just stick 10 men behind the ball. We'll hit them on the break because the defenders don't have a back four every week that communicate. So we'll end up causing chaos between them. We'll get ourselves 1-0 up. We'll stick 11 men behind the ball, and then when they finally do come at us, we'll hope to hit them again and win the game to 2 or 3-0. Like Neel said, it could have been tonight because they had 2 chances late on. They could have, rightly would have sealed the game before the 95 minutes were played.
Get your shit together, as Warren said there, Leicester. I think that should be our new logo. Get your shit together.
Said that in post-match of what he said.
Josh, looking at the subs that were made, I've been one of his biggest critics recently, Maddison, but he actually came on and actually did something. Lookman didn't sort of make the impact he normally makes, but is Brendan trying to overthink this too much? Or we've got another game coming up, so this player's got to play for that? Or does he just carry on playing his best until one of them says, like, I'm absolutely knackered, I can't make it this weekend, boss, or whatever? Is he playing Football Manager too much?
I think maybe it's a case of, the players who he's bought in, and we've said it before, they've sort of gave up Champions League football, with Daka and Samara and stuff. So maybe he's thinking, well, at the minute they're not really getting any minutes in the Premier League, so I need to start them in Carabao Cup or Europa League and such. And you'd sort of think he might be right in that sense, because they've played a lot more, especially European football. We're playing in Germany with Daka and Samari in France and stuff. So maybe he's thinking might sort of give us the edge in the European games, but I don't know, mate. It seems I remember the days of it's going back, but the days of under Martin O'Neill, where no matter what the competition was, he placed strongest 11. These are professional footballers. I don't think it's a case of the players sort of asking for a rest or wanting to miss games so they can rest. Because at the end of the day, you'd like to think that every single player wants to win every game, no matter what competition it is, even if it's pre-season friendly. You give your all to win. I think it's Brendan maybe trying to be a bit too cute with the players, maybe trying to be a bit too clever. Tonight, as you said, mate, I think the starting 11, looking at it, I thought it was all right. I thought he'd get the job done, but obviously not, mate. We're sat here pissed off again, unfortunately. But to sum it up, mate, I think sometimes the thing is with Brendan, he does tries to be a bit too clever.
Yes, yeah. Neel, Bookline, good evening, Bookline from America. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Should the Perez goal have counted? I've got to be totally honest with you. I did miss it because my takeaway arrived at that particular point. We'd actually ordered one from KFC that they then decided was going to actually be 2 hours to deliver to us, which would have meant I'd be eating it now in the middle of this show. So we cancelled that and reordered fish and chips. So as I say, it just came. So I didn't really see it. Should it have counted?
I didn't see it either. I'm not going to lie. I got home from work. I had 15 minutes, got changed quick, watched first half kind of hungry, put the food on, then came down and again, so quickly wolfed it down. I've got half the pizza still here, ready to go. It's kind of cold in my room at the moment, and the pizza's cold. The performance was cold. Everything's cold. But at the moment, it's just. I'm just doing some bits of the moment. I'm just like, I didn't see it either, because I was like, there's no point in rushing this. I'm not dying to go back to the game. So I don't know what minute that was. I think I came into it about 50 minutes, but I was like 1-0 again, because what you guys say, it's predictable. I knew we weren't going to make any subs. I knew we weren't going to play any decent football in the next 5 minutes. I was like, I'll just take my time and try and enjoy another slice. So that was my mentality. Again, it's the thing is, I'm not trying to sound like a pessimist. I've supported them through thick and thin, but this one hurts because we know the potential, and it's the hope that kills you. I know people have said that again and again, but that's especially it, the hope that kills you, especially in games like this.
I mean, Neil, you're quite right. We know following Leicester is a roller coaster ride. We know that, and there's ups and downs. We went from winning the Premier League to being sat in the relegation zone within sort of 3 or 4 months. But that's fans for you. When you get to that point, you want to get to the next point. You want to do better. It's in in your work life, whatever you want to improve. I mean, whether Barcelona will now still be interested in Brendan, I don't know. But Brad, let me ask you that. Did you see the goal, Brad? Let me ask you that first.
Yeah, I did. I did see it.
Did it have counted?
I honestly, Chris, I still don't know why it didn't count. There was the commentator didn't say anything. He just said, "Oh, it doesn't count." And it's like, why? I mean, he's still a shit hacking body, but I still don't know why it doesn't count. I don't, even Akinbaye would have scored. Like, he'd probably been. If it was offside, Akinbaye would have at least stayed onside. That's what I'll say. But I don't know. I honestly don't know why it didn't count. There was no replays. The commentator that I had on just literally went, "Oh, well, it won't count because it's a free kick." And I was like, "Well, for what? Can you tell me?" Because I genuinely couldn't figure it out. If anyone knows why it didn't count, tell me. Because none of us can figure it out here. 3 of us didn't watch it, and I sort of and still do.
We're making a real good account of ourselves for our third European football in like 20 years.
Yeah. I had it down as I thought he got disallowed because he looked offside. That's what I thought.
I'll just go with the verdict. It was Perez, and it was shot that hit the back of the net, so the referee ruled it out.
Shout out Nandes. Lovely guy.
Nandes, how are you, sir? Welcome along. Pro type of football. Can't argue with that. Gabby Lewis Wright, how the devil are you? Welcome along. Or is it Gabe or Gabby? I don't know. Apparently foul by Amati. Didn't see it. If anything, it should have been a penalty for us.
That's another fan from Seattle as well. He comes on our channel, so again, international audience today.
Seattle, nice, mate. Yeah. And you all got up early or stayed up late to watch the game.
We're sorry
now. Yes, we can go to bed now. We're all right, but you guys. But David says here, I think that Brendan tries too hard to be cute. Brendan said he wanted Somari to be more of a goal threat, so wanted him to be attacking. Yet here's the player who hasn't even got his feet wet yet. Is it Gabby or Gabe, Neil? I'm not sure what to say. Gabe. Hi, Gabe. Can't be offside from a corner.
Perez would find a way.
Welcome to the Perez Appreciation Society video number 1. You're welcome.
There are only 4 of us.
Yes, yeah. You can see the numbers just going boo, 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 boo as everybody leaves. It's like on the Take Me Out, when the women press the ball go red. Suddenly our numbers have dropped down. Devils United, Maisie, how are you? I haven't used your laugh tonight because if anything, I'd be laughing at Leicester. But Man United fan, thanks for but thanks for beating Villarreal yesterday for us. We appreciate it. I think it's well. Let me come to all of you with this because straight after the match, like I say, we get a gentleman that does our match ratings and chooses our man of the match, and he doesn't have time to think about it because he has to do it straight away. But this is what he's gone for after tonight's performance. Man of the match, James Maddison. 4 for the manager and 4 for the team. Now, I've got to be honest with you. When I was thinking man of the match, actually Maddison, to me, changed the match. That was the best time on the pitch Madison has had for us, I believe, for a while. That was the Madison that could come on. He actually was taking us, forward past, the edge of their box. The fact that no other bloody Leicester player was up there with him to be on the end of anything he had, and his corners still weren't getting past the first man. But I actually think he actually did quite well for us. Obviously, Josh, you're going to disagree with that, so I'll come to you first.
No, I won't. It made me laugh because it just sums up the game that Madison was our man of the match, and he was on the pitch for 25 minutes or so. Yes. I agree, mate. I've knocked Madison for the last few weeks for his performances because they've not been what we know he can give us. But yeah, tonight, he looked like he was trying. Getting on the ball, his movement were a lot better than what it's been the last few games he's played. But again, mate, I can't really argue with the man of the match. Everybody was just so shit. Everybody was. Yes. I think I'd give Daka a slight shout out as well because he put a lot of running in, and especially in the first half, he was trying to close their back line down a lot. Nearly come off for him again at one point when I think their goalkeeper played a short goal kick and he cut their defender out. But other than that, mate, yeah, I think given the team performance and Brendan both for 4 each is very generous in my eyes.
Kind.
Neel, your thoughts?
I mean, Madison, I guess so. But again, I'm not really thinking in terms of man of the match because normally that would be positive. And with this performance, there really wasn't that much positive. I think a couple of other players, Yuri Tillemans could be one. Castagna did some good work. He was trying to get down that right side. And every time he did, trying to beat a person, he'd look over and there's just nothing. Nobody's in the bottom. Well, Daka was being marked out the game. Sure, then you've got to have your other. If you're going to play that kind of formation, you can't have 4 central midfielders. 2 of them are going to be bombing into the box to try and get their head or get involved in the game. And Castagna looked, nothing, right, pass the ball back. And that's not his fault. At least he's trying to do something. Luke Thomas, I do like Luke Thomas, but he just looks way off it. Another player that I'm like, I really want him to do well as a local lad, but he's not anywhere near as good. There really wasn't much to choose from, to be honest. It's kind of
I just don't think Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas is not a wing back. I agree with you, mate. I just don't think he's not a wing. As a fullback, he's very good, but as a wing back, no. I agree with you on Luke Thomas tonight, mate. Definitely.
He needs coaching. He needs somebody like a Ryan Bertrand playing in a back 3 with then Luke Thomas out on the wing, and you go, right, you do this, you do this, you do this. Like a match I always reference where we were caned with injuries was the 4-1 against Leeds, where they tried to break us down and we didn't fold. Bearing in mind, we were playing a back 3 of Fafan through the middle, James Justin to the right, and Christian Fuchs to the left. And I was thinking, oh my God, we are going to get obliterated. And then Luke Thomas was playing on that right-hand side, and with Christian Fuchs telling him what to do and his experience, he led him really, really well. And there's just things going wrong, and it's like running coasting mode. But the thing is, one of the guys said on our show today, I was like, I'm Neel, you're really struggling to answer. I was like, because I'm saying the same things every week. I don't want to turn it into a show where I want to analyze the game and go, right, this was really good. This is something we can improve, but I believe in the team for the next game. Now I say the same problems as last week, roll on the next game. And for the next week, it'll be the same problems last week. We lost, roll on the next game. And that's just how I see it going. Do I think it's going to be the whole season like that? No. But I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel anywhere soon.
Welcome to Arsenal Fan TV Part 2. Brad, your thoughts on the man of the match and the score?
Man of the match? The 800 away fans?
Yes.
Because
Spartak Moscow. Have you seen what they put on their Twitter? It was glorious. They put a picture of after the roasting of Spartak Moscow. They put a picture of spaghetti on fire. It was hilarious. I'll try and bring it up on screen. Sorry to cut you off, Brad.
No, we need more of that in football, don't we? Let's have a bit of fun, you know. Yeah. Sorry, Brad.
No, it's all right. It was funny. It was worth it. It's cheered me up a bit. Man of the match, no one deserves it. They were passing the ball out of play. They were losing the ball. They were pathetic and they were crap. There's no excuses. If something comes on and improves the game, was he really that impressive? Because he fell over and he lost the ball. He kept giving. He dived to try and get free kicks. I don't think anybody. I almost think that the only one of the names that are mentioned that are worth saying anything that actually managed to stay on the feet, because clearly Leicester not only forgot Ian Acho at the airport, but they forgot to pack their boots for dodgy turfs, because none of them could stay on the feet. Castagna seemed to break protocol by trying to be dare he be attackive, because nobody followed suit. So for me, the man of the matches are the 800 people that got absolutely mugged and robbed for their money to go and watch that performance. As far as managers and player ratings go, I think the ball was generally passed more out of play than it was to a Leicester shirt, especially in that first half. I'm not being over dramatic here. They get zeros. The manager was stubborn. He didn't change his ways. He didn't change anything. He didn't inspire anything. He was predictable. He made subs when everybody knew. He didn't play Lookman. He didn't play Barnes, who's your equal joint goal scorer in Europe. Yeah, that's a great sense. The players couldn't pass to each other, played like they've never played with each other. I felt at times like Leicester were 11 people that were pulled off the street and told, go and play football.
Brad,
So zero for the manager, zero for the player, and the man of the match goes to the crowd.
I'm going to I've got a present for you here, and it's just gone off my screen, so I'll have to try and read this one. The lover of stats that you are, 763 passes we had. I don't know why. I think lcfc.com have just taken this down off the website, but and that's nearly, is it 200 more than Warsaw had? And we said at the start, yeah, wide pass. I mean, my son was watching the game with me and he said, please don't pass it back. Please don't pass it back. You'd be on the edge of the box and, it's going to go back to Schmeichel, isn't it? And yeah, okay, you can say you are holding on to possession. You're not letting the other team have the ball. But when you're 1-0 down, just put the ball in the fucking box and see what happens and get some players up there. But from what you were saying, yeah, all those touches, it's fine having them, but not if you don't do anything with it.
And 350 of them passes, mate, were out of play or to the opposition. They weren't even.
It was awful tonight, wasn't it? It was awful.
Well, it was to Castagna, to Sionchu, to Vestergaard, to Amate, and then just going back that back four.
Yeah, mate, that was worse than losing to West Ham when they beat us 4-1. At least we got a goal and showed some effort in the game.
Yeah, 763 touches, Josh, to Warsaw's 512. And Craig made this point, and I think it's a very, very good point, actually, on the preview show. Whether it's Schmeichel or any of the defenders are playing a ball out, and I've noticed it got me looking for this tonight, they're playing it to a Leicester player, but not necessarily thinking what he can do with it. Because quite often the ball from Schmeichel or one of the defenders went to another Leicester player who had a Warsaw player behind him, so couldn't do an awful lot with it other than pass it back or pass it back across the defence.
You see it a lot, mate, especially, like you say, you mentioned the West Ham game. They knew what players to press. And there were times, and again, tonight, they just let our centre-backs have it, prat around with it at the back, pass it side to side. Soon it goes to the full-backs, they're on us. Press straight away. Before you know it, like Brad said, we've knocked the ball out of play, we've panicked, stray passes here and there. We've tried, Hollywood pass them to the other side of the pitch, gone straight out of play, invite more pressure onto ourselves. So, as I said, mate, so far this season, teams have got our number, mate. They know how we're going to play, and because there's no plan B whatsoever, we'll just carry on and carry on and carry on. We'll come to life last 15, 20 minutes. But again, mate, teams know that, their centre-backs are going to do fuck all with the ball. Just let them have it. Let them have it. We'll keep us shape. And then as soon as it goes to the wing-backs or it's played into Yuri Tielemans in midfield, bang, on us straight away. And then we panic, we lose the ball. Rinse and repeat. Yeah. Rinse and repeat every week at the minute.
Welcome, Dan. How are you? Welcome along. And can I just say, Dan, thanks for joining us. Burnley fan, check out his channel as well. Even though they do have the cheating cornet playing for them. Not that I'm bitter at all, Dan, you understand. Not that I'm bitter. He was cheating. I've just got to say, Dan, hello, Mrs. Riley. How are you? I've got a jingle for you next time we speak. Neel, bit of a cock up with Nacho. I'm not saying that necessarily he would have made any difference tonight, but is it the player? Do you blame the player? Do you blame the club for not checking that the player's got it right if he has got it wrong? I mean, it's a bit of a schoolboy error, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he got to the airport and forgot his passport, or
Yes.
he's like forgot it or something like that. It's like, well, whose fault is that? It's everybody's fault, and that's kind of it's the same thing as the performance. It shouldn't be happening, but here we go again. Where it's like, yeah, we should be Ian Ash should be playing. He's given an opportunity. It's like, I don't know. Brendan, I think the thing is, the only way he can leave his contract if he's priced out of it. But who's going to take him? I mean, Barcelona, but I can't see him. Well, no. I could, but I can't. It's a weird one. No, they can't even afford a play. They have to settle their best player. They can't then put money into buying a new manager. No. It's all just, I don't know. I could potentially see him going, and maybe that's the upset, but it's not. Why? It's just.
I think at the moment,
considering, but
I think at the moment with Brendan is who would you replace him with? We have to remember, and we have to be honest and say, every year or every time we sacked a manager, we used to say we want Ancelotti. We want Ancelotti. Ancelotti necessarily didn't want to come to us. Whether we didn't approach him or whether we approached him and he said no. We can't just presume. The same with players. Why didn't we go for this player? There's no saying that if we go for them that they actually want to come to us. That's the thing. And we're not Man United, we're not Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, because we've not got that sort of history yet. Brendan, like I said, A, who do you replace him with? But B, at the moment, he is living on the time, he's earned this because of what he's done for us. He's got us into Europe 2 seasons running, he's won the FA Cup with him. The guy deserves a chance. Now, at the moment, and you could say, well, what happened with Ranieri? With Ranieri, we were in a serious danger of actually going out of the Premier League one season after winning it. We're not in that situation yet, and we will probably have to relook at it when, if that was to happen. But let's be honest with you, though, Neel. Any manager that is sacked for a reason. It's because they're no good. And yet they're in another job, most of them within a couple of weeks. Look at Mourinho. He gets sacked by Tottenham, supposedly for not being good in the dressing room, not being very good manager all round, walks into a top job at Roma. There's no other job on this planet where you can be a failure and then walk straight into a job potentially better. Brad, he has earned the right to have a bit of time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he definitely has. And again, just to more express those, I have seen, unfortunately, I did prepare myself to kind of banish Facebook because I expected to see a lot of rants about Brendan and Brendan outposts. Well, they're out in full force from what I've seen, unfortunately. But the club's been very careful when they've appointed a manager, no matter what we've thought of the manager with the style of play, with Puel, or what we initially thought with Ranieri's appointment. Not to brag, but I was one that thought he'd do really well here. I don't know where I got that opinion from.
I've still got the proof because I wrote for the Metro that he was a good choice for us, and I've saved that just in case nobody ever believes me.
Yeah, but Leicester have been very careful with who they appoint in this role, and it's easy to okay. Let's just throw the hypothetical out there that we're 6 months down the line, Leicester are 17th. It's all gone Pete Tong, and he gets the sack. You're going to be. There's no point throwing out your Antonio Contes and your Jose Mourinho's for the job because Leicester don't
afford them.
Well, they probably can't afford them. You're very right, Neel. But let's just go for the hypothetical, the names that fans shout out. Let's get in Conte, let's get in Jose, even though we know as fans we can't afford these. But Leicester don't traditionally sign a manager that they feel might upset the apple cart. And these managers have gone through, get prestigious jobs, but don't have a long staying period in this prestigious jobs because they're brought in to do exactly what it says on their tin. Bring in some success, We'll pay you a lot of money, and when it goes wrong, we can knock you out the door because we know we don't want that. We don't want you ruining the atmosphere longer than you already are when it starts going wrong, which is what a lot of people, the accusations were made by Man U fans and Spurs fans and Chelsea fans with, the biggest talking point, Jose Mourinho. You've got to be careful what you wish for. If say we lose our next 3 games and all of a sudden the owners pull the trigger, which I can never see happening, even if we did lose our next 3 games. But if they did, like you said, A, we're in short supply of managers that are available. B, the managers that a lot of fans expect here, like Neel just said, they're not even affordable in Leicester's budget. They wouldn't even contemplate going for the move because it'd upset the apple cart with the players and what they get and managers. And B, you want to bring in a manager with the right attitude. If all of a sudden this manager comes in and goes, don't rate Daka, don't rate Samore, I'll sell Tielemans in January, sign a new contract. So you go, all of a sudden you go, well, we didn't bring him. Well, he's the manager. Yeah. But if he's commanding that power, because you've got to bring in a manager of that caliber, all of a sudden, all the hard work that Leicester have done over the last 4, 5, 6 years goes to pot.
Totally agree with you. As soon as you bring in a new manager, that draws the line, and you're starting again. So I was actually, I used to. For those that know me, I used to work for Blackburn Rovers, and I was there, sort of, they sacked Sam Allardyce because the fans didn't. They just got the Venkies come in and buy them, and I don't think the Sam Allardyce was manager at the time was getting a lot of stick, and they're in the Premier League, so they got rid of Allardyce. Replaced him with one of his coaches, Steve Keane, and they went down to tier 3. Charlton didn't like Alan Kirbishley. They thought he was stagnating. The fact that he got them to 9th, 10th, 11th in the league every season wasn't enough for them. So they got rid of Kirbishley. Where are they now?
Mark Hughes and Tony Pulis with Stoke. Same things.
Yeah.
Or even West Brom.
Dan says here, that was very, I'm glad they went down because what they did was disgusting that early. Dan says here, it's like you guys have said no plan B. We've had no plan B for years and given Dyche a 4-year deal. Tell you the problem is, I don't think we've got a plan A at the moment. That's what we were saying. Jason, good evening, sir. I would say how the devil are you, because I know you're not well. You're in hospital with COVID at the moment and some very unfortunate side effects as well. I presume you're still in, mate. How are you? I hope you're getting better, and I hope it's all right. I wouldn't be throwing Brendan into the closet. Well, that's a different saying. He might come out having said, "I spent 10 years managing Narnia United." Narnia United, sorry. All I would say, the defence just need to change the style. I think 3 at the back isn't the best of choices. Love Brad for his honesty. We have to remember, though, Leicester came from a long way. That's why we have big expectation. That's why fans feel so down is very understandable. I know we can say where we were, and I'm very much of that because I'm of an age where I'm 60 now, and I can remember the Pleat years and the playoff years and all that. So I know where we came from. But Josh, how much longer can we go on saying, remember where we've come from? We can't go on using that as an excuse. We are now, we hope, an established Premier League side, Europe for 2 seasons, the best squad we've probably had money-wise. I think somebody said we've got the 7th most expensive squad in the Premier League. We've got the 4th most expensive manager. At some point, we've got to say, we're here now, and it's hard to improve because you've got 19 other clubs that are trying to improve with you as well, and you can't all improve.
We're not asking for a lot, though, Chris. We're just asking to be competent at this point, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, are we asking just to be consistent?
And only 18.
We are consistent at the moment.
Sorry, Brad, say that again.
I think
I'll let Josh say his point because you asked him the question.
Sorry. No, it's all right. I like to use the excuse of, I'm one that likes to say, look how far we've come, because after a result like today, you sort of kid yourself into, and it makes you feel better. But having said that, if if we want to be a big club, big clubs don't say things like that. The sort of, like you say, you need to be consistent, consistently up there. And we all like to, reminisce about the past. And like I say, when we won the league and last season winning the FA Cup, but it's in the past now. It's nice to look back on. But if we want to progress, then unfortunately we can't keep saying that every week. Look how far we've come. Look how far we've come. It's true, because in the grand scheme of things, we're not a massive club compared to the likes of your Uniteds and your Chelseas and stuff. But if we want to be on that level every season, we can't keep saying that, unfortunately.
Yes, yeah. David says here, welcome back, David. Excuse me. The problem is that even after watching so many games, I have no idea what the real issue is. Defense poor, but other than Vardy, most everything in between is just as bad. Yet we have new players. It is, and like I say, this season, I think they're pretty much, the Premier League, unfortunately, is turning a bit into Scottish football. And I think, the top four's pretty much decided. It's just the order of that they will be in. So, and everybody's saying, we're going to be fifth again or sixth, whatever. And then other people will say, well, if we don't, we can win the Europa League and get into the Champions League that way. That looks a bit like that's gone down the drain. But like I say, it's hard because you've got like the West Hams, you've got the Evertons, you've got, Brad, you've got 3 or 4 other clubs that are trying to do the same as us. But is it too much to ask for consistency? Is it too much to say, it's gone wrong for 7 games? Are we as fans the only people that can see that it's not working? Especially when last season playing 2 up front, which, as I say, Brendan didn't have a mastered stroke to suddenly think, yeah, I've got an idea, I'm going to play 2 up front. He was forced into it because of injuries to Barnes and injuries to Maddison. They played Inacho and Vardy, but how good was it when he did it? And yet dropped it this year.
If you was to do that at any other workplace where you had a system that worked perfectly, everybody got on board with it, everybody liked it, everybody knew their role, and everybody knew how you was going to go about the game, and then you decided to change it, and for 7 straight shifts in a row, it was a horrendous mess, and it didn't work, and everybody was confused, and everybody could see the issues, but the hierarchy didn't change it, you'd stop performing. The performances would only get worse as the more you try to repeat the same process. I mean, who is it that's a definition of insanity is doing something and expecting a different result? Was it Einstein or something like that said that roughly along them lines?
Believe it or not, I don't read a lot of Einstein. I've got to be honest with you.
I know it's just a famous quote. I don't either.
Never thought I'd hear Einstein on this show, to be honest.
I know, right? Nor did I until that. But it is the repeating the exact same thing. And I said this in the last post-match, didn't I, Chris, where I said I could have taken every post-match up until this game and repeated what I said about the first half and the second half performance. Leicester are slow, methodical, boring, sideways, backwards building. Go behind. Go attacking for 20 minutes. Try and get something from the game. I'm sick of saying it. It's not working. What more does it need to happen on that pitch that Brendan Rodgers stops mummy cuddling the players and protecting them and protecting himself? He there's signs to that cliche that a manager gets that sometimes to try and be your best mate. We said that about McLaren, didn't we? He was all great as a coach and as a second in command, but when he came to the England job, he wasn't just a Wally. Before he became infamously known as the Wally with the Brolly, he was known as, Brendan Rodgers, idiot on a European tour. I don't know. You could probably give the same name for him the way he's performed with us in Europe since he's been our manager. But the consistency is maybe he's trying to be too much of the mates. Maybe he's given too many promises to these players that I love you all. I've got 16, 17 players that need to be playing each week. So I'm going to treat you all and give you all, share out me candy between all my favourite kids. So no one feels like the favourite. And it results in a performance like this. The last time I saw Leicester make 7 or 8 changes to a starting lineup in European competition Harvey Barnes was making his debut in a 5-0 drubbing by FC Porto. Second game in Europa League. Where's Lookman? Where's Barnes? Where's a change in system? If a team like, a laughable thing, right? If you saw how the score brackets came up tonight, how Leicester is LEI and they were LEG, right? Well, Man United got beat by Young Boys. Real Madrid got beat by a Sheriff, but at least they weren't beaten by a Leg. Because that's how it came up on the brackets. Leicester lost 1-0 to Leg. And that just says it all. When we're being beaten by a side like that who knew how to play, we're a Premiership top 6 club. Sod Sky, sod BT in the media. We are a top Premiership side of current quality. We're FA Cup champions. And they knew how to play us before the whistle was even blown.
Craig said there, Neil, be patient. We're football fans.
The thing is,
football fans be patient.
We can if we can see the process, we are going to be patient, but we can't see the thing changing. If it's one result, we can see bad day at the office, no problem. We know what the team's capable of. If calling for the manager's head is not the right option, but we're saying manager change it. A lot of us are not saying because it's not working. It's not working. Don't do the same thing again. If you're doing the same thing again, we're going to go, why is this guy? Again, it's the same thing with if you make a mistake, as Brad used the same example. If you make a mistake at work one day and the boss goes, what are you doing, man? You go, okay, no worries, mate. I'll sort it tomorrow. Do exactly the same mistake the next day. The boss is going to think about firing you, especially if it's a major mistake. And it's going to be. And if you do that 4 times in a row, the guy's like, be prepared to leave the door because that is not good enough. If you change your behavior, it changes. And we've seen before that it's just really frustrating. That's the worst thing about it. We know what this team is capable of, and we just need them to perform at a competent level. We're not expecting there'll be certain players that we expect the world from. Yuri Tilleman's going to have an off game. James Madison's going to have off games. That's fine. But we need to go, right. We need to at least go toe to toe with teams, and we've not been doing even toe-to-toe with the likes of Burnley, with the likes of Brighton. We didn't do it for 90 minutes. What do you mean we can't go toe-to-toe with Brighton for 90 minutes? This is, and I'm not nothing against Brighton, but we should be doing that at that level where we're going toe-to-toe, and we haven't. So we're not asking for a lot. Forget social media.
Agree.
If you saw when Ranieri was sacked, forget social media. We're just talking about performances, and all we need to do is match last season. And I know that's 5th place, and that's really hard, and the other team's strength, and blah 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 blah. Sure, but we need to be performing at what, half the level? I can't say we're performing at least half the level that we were last year.
And you'd take 7th if they matched performances, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? You'd even take 7th if you said the likes of West Ham and that stepped up their game and did better.
Fair enough.
You go, all right, at least we played the way we expected and give a performance that we could say, all right, we finished 7th. It wasn't 5th, but fair play to the 6 teams that finished higher than us. You know what I mean?
And I think you've got to look at the fact that we, in Burnley, we were outplayed at times by a team that was second from bottom. And, Man City, I wouldn't, I understand. And I always go back to The Great Escape because, I had a season ticket and I had a 7.5-hour round trip from where I am up to the Walkers. The King Power, the Walkers. And I just want to say, sorry, Neil, I've just seen your link to Twitter. Lovely picture. Thank you.
It makes you laugh. If you want to laugh, I'd recommend. I can't post in the chat, but it's good fun.
But no, I had a 7.5-hour round trip every home game to see us lose. I know it made the winning a lot better at the end of the season when we stayed up, but during that season we were going toe to toe. We weren't losing badly, we weren't playing badly, and we were losing mistakes. 1-0, 2-1. And we're not even getting that at the moment. I just want to catch up on a few comments here in the chat. Josh has had to go; his battery died, so he's back to, I think, took sympathy with the Leicester team. James Koski, good evening. How the devil are you, sir? 0% chance we can beat Palace. it's going to be a lot harder than I thought. I've got to be honest with you. I shows I know nothing about football. I had Brighton and Palace as a couple of favourites to go down. B-Crom bring back Ranieri. I don't know about that. Love the man to bits, but it was going wrong at the end, as it normally does for Ranieri, in fairness. Dugout channel here. At least you actually lost to a good team. In Real Madrid, in Poland, Real Madrid lost to Sheriff Trace Polo group of policemen. That's true. We've got Miss Molina. Good evening. If she likes the stream, thank you very much. Bcrom again. You build a team around your stars in Nacho, Vardy, and Ndidi. Doug again saying Benfica thrashed Barcelona 3-0. I don't think we're quite as bad as Barcelona at the moment. We've not got their off-pitch troubles, have we? You still think Leicester can win this group or go through in second? I don't know what you're drinking, Doug.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. But I don't know what you're drinking, but send me a message and tell me, because I want to go out and buy some, mate. My God. You've got Jesus's happy juice, I think, there.
I gave him some of my North Macedonia special juice before the game, so he got all excited.
The only time, David, the only time we started well and on the front foot for minute one was versus Villarreal in the friendly. I mean, that's the point, isn't it, Brad? You know, look back at the Villarreal game. How has it changed so quickly? Because we know, yes, we've got a couple of injuries, plus Evans, who's in and out, you know, well, let's not say anything, but he's in and out a lot at the moment. But it was worse than this last season.
See, the thing is, the problem is at the moment is, unlike last season, which is, like Neel said, it's fine. You know, you can accept that the good players are going to have 95% of a season, they're going to be on top form, but there's going to be the odd game thrown in there where they're not up to scratch. But that's when the other 8 or 9 players have to pull the finger out their arse and pull the weight a little bit. You know, we've had a run of games where we've most notably goals droughts in Vardy, for the biggest example, and Maddison for maybe being the midfield maestro, is we've always said, well, at least Nacho's scoring because Vardy's not. He's, you know, or at least Barnes is finding a net because Maddison's a bit off the boil. We could afford to do it. Unfortunately, we're having 5, 6, 7, 8 performances that are at best mediocre on the pitch. I mean, I saw Barnes I think it was Barnes. It was either Barnes or Dewsbury Hall. Had a split time in the game where he broke away from the defender and then for absolutely no reason knocked it 3 yards in front of himself and lost the ball. I thought, did he flick his analog stick on his PlayStation and analog and accidentally press the pass button by mistake or something? Because he was in control of the ball, and that was something. There was a lot of ankle breaking, falling over by Leicester, and that's another thing that really, really made me scratch my head. I'm thinking, did they not prepare their boots for the conditions of Poland? Because there was just so much wrong with it. So much
basic football. It's basic football, and it's not the first time we've said it. We've said it against the Burnley game, against the Brighton game. This is basic football, passing the ball 5 yards, getting the ball and turning with your back and not losing possession. Just things that I want to sort out. These are not like massive things. We're just talking about small things here. We're not talking about can Yuri Tillemans smash or can James Maddison play with the outside of his foot into Jamie Vardy who puts it away. We're talking about the simple stuff. Can you play through the middle? Can you get the ball to the striker? Can we get the ball to the striker? We're not talking about rocket science.
Yeah, because
sorry, I'm going to say, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. You carry on, Brad. It'll come back to me.
Just backing up your point then, Neel, because everybody's like, you know, I've had this debate with you before, Chris. I've always said, I do not give a stuff in the style of football. I remember, funny enough, you mentioned him, Allardyce at West Ham. I've got a few friends of mine that are West Ham fans, right? And I remember when he took them into Europe. I don't know if he got it through that fair play rule back then when it was a thing, but he got them. Like, they finished 8th, and he got them in that way, didn't he? Yeah. And then they sacked him. And I remember turning around people, West Ham fans, going, "Wow, you sacked Allardyce. You got to Europe, even if it was through the back door. You got into Europe. Why have you sacked him? Oh, because his football's boring." Well, you'd rather play good football and get relegated than play that football and get European football. No,
Yeah.
not on your Nelly. All these fancy back passes and little no-look passes. It looks great when Christian Fuchs is setting up Vardy to make it his 11th in a row against Manchester United. It don't look good when it's a no-look pass and he goes to the ball boy on the halfway line because Castagne is going, excuse me, I'm here, not there.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's just stop it. Simple football.
Yeah.
Pass.
Craig says
Move.
there, Hugh, if anybody wants to know who Hugh Hefner is, you need to go and Google it.
It's definitely not this kind of channel.
Yeah.
No. But he is right. It is possession over penetration, and we'll use that in the future. Craig, are we going to play the Hugh Hefner way this weekend? What I was going to say, and it has come back to me, but it is my age, so forgive me, guys. But no, I don't know whether anybody was actually watching it on BT, but I think the co-commentator on BT was actually Steve McManaman, who is slightly on the scale 1 or 2 up from Phil Neville when it comes to co-commentary. But I tell you what, he actually, as the game went on, was summing Leicester up perfectly. He was saying there's nothing in the final third. The balls that are coming in are going to nobody. Like you said, Brad, you press the pass on FIFA rather than the shoot. It was just that last nothing nothing at the end of it. But like you said, and Neil said it earlier, we've been saying it for so long, and that is the worry. I mean, Neil, I'll come to you first with this one because we'll round it up now. And thank you very much for joining us. But Palace on Sunday. Like I say, I had Palace, like new manager. They've lost a few players, and you just know Edouard is going to come on and score against us. What do we change? Do we go back? Everybody's screaming for 4-4-2, or at least have 2 up front. There's got to be some changes, hasn't there?
We have to change to 4. We have to just hold on. 2 banks of, and it makes sense. 2 banks of 4. Keep it as Brad was saying. Keep it simple. Keep it good. And when we get our opportunities, take them. And with Jamie Vardy on the pitch, you've always got that man that'll put the ball in the back of the net. So keep it simple. Don't try and play it too fancy, playing along the back and stuff like that. Just keep it simple. Keep your fullbacks tucked in. Wingers, do what you need to do. That we know that midfield partnership works because Ndidi will be back for this game. Keep it simple. I mean, just do the simple, and if it doesn't work, cool. But at least we're not. The problem is sometimes we're outplaying ourselves, and that's the dumb. It's kind of like if you do a step over too much and you fall over. It's like, well, just continue in a straight line, and you would have been okay. Yeah. It's the risk you pull with it, and it's like Brendan Rodgers is too. He's too almost not. I won't say the word arrogant, but he's too. No, I can play a better style of football than this. And sometimes simplicity is just the best way to go. And the thing is, we've tried everything. We've tried 3 at the back now. We've tried 4-2-3-1. We've tried different positions. We know our best lineup. We know that probably on the right hand, I'd stick Albrighton back in the team. You know he's going to give you that constant performance. Stick Albrighton on that right hand side, whip balls in, see if something can happen from it. Now you've got Vestergaard. Now you've got Samore potentially that could play. You've got something, but the reason why we criticize them is because we know we can do better and because we really love our football club. That's all it comes down to. It's not like negative. It's not like we're saying we hope our team's relegated. There's a whole load of other nonsense that's going on. We know we can do better. We want to get behind you. Just show us that you want it and we'll get behind you.
I think we just hope we don't get to the point. I had an Arsenal fan come on a show the other day, and he's a good lad, and we have a laugh and a joke and banter between us. But he actually wanted Arsenal to lose at the weekend so that Arteta got sacked. And I'm like, I just don't know how you ever get to that point with your club.
We've had Leicester fans, on the channel when we lost 4-2 to Newcastle that had gone on hope we don't win a trophy. It was one guy, but I was just like, I don't really believe you. And you're just doing it to get attention. My fault, I brought him up. But things like that, I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. And this is one of the reasons why I try and stay off social media. And I can imagine as a fan that's, again, you've had lots of international fans in your channel, and shout out to all of you, because that boy, oh boy, that's hard work trying to follow the team at 9 in the morning.
It's bad enough following it from the South Coast. But
exactly. But don't believe all the stuff you read on the social media. It's not, without me saying something really old, it's like, go down to if you eventually get the channel, go down to the ground, go and speak to people, and you will see. I think the best example of that is when Ranieri got sacked, and I was heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. When you went to the match, you realized we want to thank Ranieri, we need to get behind the team and get this team playing. And that for me sums up the social media divide. And it's beautiful thing about social media. I've met some great, again, people in the comments. I met some great people from all over the world, but there's a certain part of it that's just there for the clicks and the ratings rather than actual fans that get behind the club, especially with a top team.
Yeah, I think what you got. I mean, I actually, occasionally will take a photograph of my meal and print it out and go and deliver it to my neighbours, up on social media. I think you got to remember what social media is. I get a lot of people say, because I've got the Facebook group and the Twitter and what have you, and people will say to me, sort of like, "Why are you saying that?" And I'm saying, well, it's my job as admin of these things to create discussion. And if I come on every time and go, Leicester are brilliant, Leicester are brilliant, Leicester, you're never going to sort of comment, and it'll be a waste of time doing it. Look, I'm going to let you go, Neel. Thank you so much for coming on. Give a shout out to your channel. How can people find you and follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow us at Beyond the 90 LCFC. Again, Chris has been a long while coming. Again, I've finally changed job now. Trying to keep the work stuff off that, but finally got enough time. So I was like, right, I've green screen set up. We just finished ours. I'll jump on. So no, brilliant. Brad, great to see you once again. And we'll see you guys. I'll see you. We'll hopefully have you on the channel. We'll sort something out, mate. But no, appreciate you having me on the channel again.
And thanks for coming on for such a great evening.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what, mate? We've made an hour and 30, and I don't know how we've done it, but congrats to you for that. Because sometimes you find a way of just get it all off your chest, and I can go to bed.
Saying, if anybody says to you, "Where were you when we were shit?" just tell them where you were tonight, because that's where you were when we were shit.
I can go get my Tops Tiles t-shirt, mate. I can pull. I like wearing that one because it's a terrible kit, but it was my first ever kit, and I was like, I went the same as the club, and I remember being so happy that I've got a club. I look back at it and go, it's terrible. I mean, what? But again, it's like how far we've come. But at the same time, it's like that was shit. This is bad because our expectations are so high. That was how can we get any lower? Because literally we were in League One.
Yeah,
it's a different
I'm just impressed that it still fits you after all these years. I wish mine did. I'm having to go out now and buy replica kits of replica kits that I had, just 2 sizes bigger. But Neel, we'll do something again soon. Get over there and follow this guy. It's a great channel, Beyond the 90. Thanks for coming on, mate. Take care, and
thanks, guys. All the best.
Fingers crossed for Palace.
See you later, buddy.
That's all we've got. We've got fingers crossed. That's about it, mate. But we'll see you all in a bit.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and thanks for coming on, Brad.
It's been my pleasure. I got to do a singing act for you, being as I don't normally join.
You do know what's going to happen with that, don't you?
Good, mate. Good. Because I've had enough with him. I've had enough trying to be on the fence.
If you think Macedonia was good, I'm actually going to put an album together. I'm actually going to do a show that has got all your clips. You know, one of those K-Tel adverts that used to be on the TV. The best of Brad.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
We love Macedonia. Definitely. Track 1, side 1. But thanks for coming on as well, Brad. We've seen a lot of each other this weekend. I'm seeing more of you than I am my ex-wife, and but then again, she is my ex, so I don't want to. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 for the Palace preview, and on Sunday at 5-ish for the post-match. And let's hope it is a little bit cheerier than this.
I tell you what, mate. I'm gonna before the preview, just to give everybody a bit of excitement, I'm gonna try my old Mystic Meg hat on again. Right, so get my tinfoil hat out for it, because for the preview, I am gonna have a little prediction for how it's going to go. I will let you know beforehand, so we can.
I hope you're going to bring the graphics up with it as well.
Oh! There will be. There will be graphics.
Can I just say, I realised why Leicester are doing what they're doing. Is your middle name Samson by any chance?
It
You
most
cut your
certainly is
fucking
not. I
hair
feel like we've
with
lost the power.
loss. Grow it back, because when you had long hair, we a pigtail, a la David Seaman, we were winning. You cut your hair and we're playing shit. So it's your fault, Brad Perkis. Your fault entirely. You will go
okay,
to
yeah,
you will go
that's
to
it.
hell in a cart, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's like that Jackson 5 song, isn't it? Don't blame it on the manager. Don't blame it on the players. Blame it on the
Hey,
haircut.
we could blame it on the boogie. We blamed it on everything else, mate. Thanks very much,
Blame it on
and
the
I'll see you
Barbie.
tomorrow night at 7.
I look forward to it, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
Just remember, mate. Shit, I can buy.
I don't think I'll ever forget that.
No, sure you won't, mate. See you later. Cheers,
I'm
guys.
taking therapy now. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
See you later.
Thanks to Brad. He will be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, as indeed will I, and he will be back with this. Yes, indeed. 7 o'clock tomorrow. It is the preview show. Leicester away to Palace. How are we going to do? I don't think. I never think. That's my trouble. Guys, let's just go through some last comments here, because that's what I was going to do. Let me just have a look and see. Scott says here, disagree with Neel about Albrighton. Bring him on as a sub, maybe. Let's be honest with you, Scott. He couldn't really do much worse, could he? So why not? We need to maximise the talent on our team, says B. Crom, and thanks for joining us, B. Crom. Perez and Albrighton are role players. David, love Albrighton, but he can't play from minute 1, loses steam too quickly, but as an impact sub, I agree with that 100%. I think Vardy will end up like that. Maybe not this season, maybe in a couple of seasons' time. But yes, it's going to be he's going to be an impact sub as well. But yeah, I agree with Albrighton. Perez and Albrighton lack pace. I think Perez just lacks everything. Tell me what he doesn't lack. Yeah, whereas Scott said, and I didn't see that, Scott, but I agree with you a lot. I agree with you. Jason, guys, to make you all smile, and I'll put £10 on Leicester to beat Palace. Mate, if you've got £10 to throw away, send it to me. Seriously. Jason, you know my address. Send me the £10 now. Will you have the clock going off? Hey, we've missed the clock. We missed the clock. Scott, I blame Tyson for coming back on the channel. Yeah, you say that now he's gone. And Terry, control your dog. I hope your dog wasn't too bad. Thanks so much. We had a lot of new people in the chat today. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, I know a lot of you are, please, if you get over down to YouTube and give me a sub. It would be very, very helpful and would help grow the channel. Smash the likes on the YouTube as well. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on Twitter, please nip onto YouTube. Leicester Till I Die TV. I can say sub the channel. We would be very, very grateful as well. And if you want to listen back to this rather than watch me, and I've got a face that is made for podcasts, we have got all the podcasts covered, really. We've got, we haven't, let me bring that up. I'm getting rid of the wrong thing. I can't get rid of Terry. There we go. Let's get rid of Terry. Not in the nicest possible way. Google, Amazon, Apple iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, Podcast Addict, to name just 6, because it's all I could fit on the graphic. That is where you can find us. I will see you all tomorrow at 7 with Brad. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on. Wish it had been nicer to talk about, but, you know, this is Leicester. We know we're a roller coaster club. See you tomorrow night. Good night.
That's all, folks.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for the latest updates and news on Leicester.
I'll be back.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.